apple of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give you the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and Lisa Doop. Shamma-lamma ding-dong loop-de-loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
You're listening to Bean, Mr. Boop. Pac-Man is in the eye of the beholder.
I would make a joke about how it sounded like you said Bean, like Mr. Bean, but it's not a bonus episode.
Well, you've already referenced Mr. Bean.
No, I haven't. So. I don't know what you're talking about.
My name is Lisa Doop, and I am Bean, Mr. Boop.
My name is Ryan Pfeiffer, and I am not and have never been Mr. Boop.
I did not have sexual relations with that Boop.
Jesus.
In this episode, what happens in today's Tuesday, April 7th episode?
I want to preface this by saying I did not write this tagline.
Well, it sounds like something you'd write, so I don't know.
It does not. So there.
Anyway.
So there.
So
did I say tagline?
No, I don't know what you said.
I meant to say synopsis. The synopsis is finally regular sex.
Regular sex, finally.
I'm gonna censor the word.
Weird orgy stuff.
I'm gonna censor the word when I said
it. Finally, regular fucking.
On a Friday night.
Friday night. Fucking.
This podcast sucks. Go on. I don't even see what this strip is.
I just want to highlight the fact that I think we've become more self-deprecating than being Jim Davis ever was.
Maybe. I mean, we earned it.
We did it.
We earned it.
Being Jim Davis.
I mean, we are like being Jim Davis is so self-deprecating, and then we have literally ripped off a podcast that is already considers themselves to be awful. Like, all right, go on. Wait, let me see.
Well,
yeah, I don't want to read this one. Go on.
Okay,
I'll read. I know I've been like putting off a lot of that on Delisa. To be fair, I also like write most of the synopses and edit all the episodes.
I'm a very sexually liberated fella. Personally.
No, I just know you don't care, and well, that wasn't my point. My point was it'll like we're gonna have more different strips coming up soon. So I'll read them more, just not right now. Not right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the understanding we come to.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
I mean, we did not discuss this at all. I'm just.
I was surprised it didn't come up.
What do you mean?
So anyway, panel
one. Well, it's a bit meta.
We've got.
We don't need it's behind the scenes stuff. We don't need to discuss that.
We don't talk off air. We've never talked.
We're not friends in real life.
No.
We're not even friends on the podcast.
This is. Anyway.
What the fuck was that?
Oh, I was just scribbling on the surface I have.
Oh, God. This sucks.
This will be the biggest. This is what we call music concrete, where we create.
Go on.
Collection of interesting sounds.
There's nothing interesting about this. Go on.
Panel 1, Alec is on the left, Betty's on the right, and
this is Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah, they both look in love. I don't know how, but all of our episodes go consistently run 5 minutes or maybe even 10 minutes longer than an average Being Jim Davis episode.
Yeah, well, I would say theirs is like an average 15, and ours is like an average 20 to 30.
Yeah, it's it's not great. Okay,
Well,
so,
because I mean, when we're on, that's usually what happens to being Davis.
when it's cool. It's cool when I do it on being Jim Davis.
It's not. You get me in trouble.
With the big wigs.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alec and Betty, they are in love. They have the fucking droopiest fucking expressions, and like, oh man, and they got little heart flies around them. And I love
Hey,
these
yeah, they do.
drawings. Yeah, I love these drawings of these two characters. Great. Tattoo that Betty Boop on my back. The face of her, only.
How many tattoos
Alex
of Betty
said-
Boop in this comic are you gonna get? This is not your first.
And it won't be my last.
You're gonna. Whatever. I don't care.
Anyway, Alex says, I feel like we've been on a big sexual adventure together. Which they have.
And then
And Betty says,
Betty
"We have."
reiterates. Betty confirms that by her speech bubble. Her speech bubble says, "We have.
Exactly. They have.
We have.
We have. Me and Ryan.
What? I have not with anyone ever.
Alex-
Thank you very much.
Alex says, I love you so
And
much.
I never will."
No. Alex says, I love you so much to what's his face? The Betty woman. Quoting the
I love you
James
so
Brown
much,
song, I'll Go
whoever you
Crazy.
are. Panel 2. That was the
Panel
flapper
2 is-
shot. Panel
Oh,
2.
yeah, it was
Panel 2 is a
was it
close.
flapper shot?
Yeah,
yeah.
Panel 2 is a close up of Betty.
Mhm.
Still, we still see heart flies around her.
She's in love. They love
Yeah.
each other. This is a great comic. Nothing ever could go wrong with
Sure.
these two. And then he says, you truly mean everything to me.
That's what his speech bubble says coming off panel from the
Yeah.
left.
Yeah. Ooh.
God,
Ooh.
I am so stupid. I have to think about what direction is which.
No, it's fine. We've all got fucked up problems. We're all hosting a
By we all we mean everyone
hosting
who hosts this
being
podcast.
Cebu. And everyone who listens to it. You're all freaks. Get out of here.
The thing about that is nobody listens to this.
Yeah, I mean, we get some some likes on our tweets, so I figure they're listening.
We don't.
Right?
We don't even. That's the thing.
What?
Do you mean Alden? From
No, I mean, no.
Alden
I don't
Alden
assume
replied to
people-
one of the tweets the other day. That's about
Yeah,
it.
but people, but before that, people have liked them like sporadically. So I'm like, well, if you like this episode, you've probably heard them before.
Very. I feel like I could count the number on one hand.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. This is. Are you familiar with the fear of obscurity, Ryan?
The fear of obscurity,
Nothing. Never mind.
or the theory of obscurity.
The fear of obscurity. The theory.
I can't make out your thick Cockney accent.
Fury.
Theory.
I'm not gonna go into.
That's
it.
just a game. Fear.
It's just this idea that it's this like it's this.
No, this
artistic
is a good
concept.
topic. Go on.
It's this artistic concept in which an artist intentionally stays unknown in order to produce the work with the least feedback. Like, as in, if they're afraid of getting their vision too infected by the general public, they'll actively attempt to become obscure. I was just making a quick.
Give me an
reference
example.
to it. Oh fuck! I don't know. That's the point. No.
Well, surely
The
there are
example
examples
is,
of people
very-
who have tried to do that and like back in it and it's failed.
Well, the most famous example of a group who's tried that is very
The
early
Residents.
Yeah, of course. From like, yeah,
No.
yeah.
That was what you were gonna say?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they're the big.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're probably the biggest example of it.
Oh
But there's
my God.
others.
I think that's you just think that because of your that's all you ever think about.
I agree. But there's other examples, surely.
I could go for like a turkey sandwich right now, like a Thanksgiving turkey sandwich.
Anyway, I was just making a quick reference to it, like because we
Sure did go by
are
quickly.
unknown. Well, I mean, you asked me to explain.
I know. I thought it was
so-
a good topic.
I mean, can you think of any acts you've?
No, but
attempted
I
to
don't
say
know
it's true?
what this. I don't. You referenced it. I don't know. No, I don't know. No.
Most acts who attempt to say obscure under the fear of obscurity succeed. Is the thing.
I don't
The reference just
really
fails,
like
'cause-
know about like obscure stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. I can't think of.
I mean, if you know, if they're known at all, it's already failed. So
Kind of. I mean, if that. I mean, what is it? What... Maybe it's not a good topic. Maybe I'm too dumb. What is the? Where does it? Where do they draw the line? Because like, if they don't want anyone to look at it at all, then Then they just wouldn't post it.
Well, no, it's also about it's not just about that's the fact that less people know about it is it's also the idea that it also applies to like just not checking feedback, not being aware of it yourself, like intensely.
That's not really
ignoring it as a subset
obscurity.
of it. Yeah, but I mean, the main idea is to become unknown, but there's also other subsets where it's like,
Banksy.
well, you can be known but just not check. Or there's an idea that it's to do with like the death of the author, you know, that kind of thing where
Sounds like the opposite
author's
of that.
considered.
Death of
What?
the audience.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're both apply to the fear of obscurity because sometimes, in the Residence example, they hide themselves and their public lives from the general audience, so that
That's kind of different though, because that doesn't have anything to do with their art.
Well, I mean, the idea is that when you know things about the artist, it affects the way that you see the art.
I
And
feel like
so
that's
it's like-
different than what you were describing it as at first.
They're both subsects of the same theory. They apply under.
I mean, I definitely know
obscurity.
artists like that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. The Wu-Tang Clan. No, they're not anonymous. Daft Punk.
I know artists who my buddy Ed Atlin, I used to think of him kind of like that. Like he's just like this mysterious, you know, he's like always in this character. All the videos he puts out, it's like in this character. And it's funny though, because now I just know him and he's just like this regular guy.
Yeah.
But when I used to follow him, it's like, like it's not even that he would necessarily always post in character, but I would always read it as if he was posting in character, because whenever he does like a video or anything, he's always in character. But but he had released stuff that wasn't in character. I just hadn't seen it really. Like he would post commentaries and stuff. And of course now, like, I mean, I've had him on my channel, and he's not in character there. But like when I draw him into the thumbnail, I draw him as his character, Tutu.
Nice.
Because that's kind of what, I mean, that's like what his profile pictures are and stuff. And I mean, I think that's the only time he's ever like shown his face in videos. He's like been in costume as Tutu. I don't know. Well, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, cool guy. What are we talking about?
Well, you were talking about Betty Boop.
We
were talking about
Alec
how
was
no
off
one-
panel. His speech bubble is coming off from the left. That's what I was saying. I was saying I was dumb. And then Betty's.
We I think we mentioned how no one was listening.
Shut
to
up,
this,
fool!
like,
Betty's
casually
panel.
Yeah.
Betty's panel. Betty's speech bubble. Jesus fucking Christ. She has a speech bubble. It says, "This is exactly what I always dreamed my life would be like." Panel 3. It's a reverse close-up of Alec. He's doing the wife face.
Mm.
Oh god, I thought I didn't know Betty was. I was gonna do Betty's voice throughout this strip, but I thought she was just saying normal stuff. Never mind.
Betty says from off panel, from the right, she says, "Want to have some regular vanilla sex? Question mark. Nothing interesting at all? Question mark."
What the fuck is a question mark?
Question point.
There's an electoral heart after sex and an electoral heart after all. And Alec has a speech.
I can understand it's a
Her
heart.
speech bubble is coming off from the. It's not whatever. Her speech bubble is coming off from the right. We assume it's Betty doing her ventriloquism.
Mm-hmm.
Alec has a little speech bubble that says "absolutely." Period.
Good for him.
Panel 4. It's still a close up of Alec, but it's different because he's turned to the camera. He's turned to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
He's breaking the fourth wall. He's doing a little Deadpool move right there. He's doing a She-Hulk moment.
Yeah. A She-Hulk, some other character.
Gwenpool,
Yeah, why not?
like Chris Hastings.
Doing a big old Bollock Brecht.
Huh?
I think he broke the fourth wall in this play.
I don't know what you said.
Bollock Brecht,
I don't know who that is.
German poet and playwright from the 40s. They're not important. Keep going.
He's got like neoflex, which is not a term we came up with. He's got like neoflex coming off his head, but they're not like shine. They're not for shine. They're just for emphasis that he's like expressing. And he's got his hands up by his head, like expressing. And he's angry, looking at the camera, angry. It's like almost like a reverse wife face.
Would you say he's expressing?
Yeah, I did. I literally did say that. And he's got a speech bubble. What does his speech bubble say? Lisa.
Says what? Question mark, exclamation mark. Electoral heart. Electoral point.
Just don't say the punctuation. Don't. I will say it.
And it's underlined. I'm allowed to.
You're not allowed. You know, you've lost your punctuation privileges until you pass that quiz.
No. I'm allowed to have regular sex with my panel 4 marital status drop. Why?
Just
electoral point times 2.
We don't say these things until you just read the thing normally.
I already said it.
No, read it normally and then point it out.
Okay.
That's how we've done it for like the past dozen or so episodes.
What? I'm allowed to have regular sex with my wife, and that's a marital status drop in panel 4.
What is underlined in all caps, followed by in electrile bang, and then wife is followed by 2 electro points. I don't know why it's so easy for me to remember. Like, I don't know. It's almost I tried to say ellipses earlier, and I almost said electries. I think this podcast is actually poisoning my brain.
That's great.
You know what we haven't said? Okay, I feel like in the last strip, no, there wasn't. Never mind. I was gonna say we haven't been using a talkie, the last bit of slang we came up with, but I guess it hasn't come up yet.
What's a talkie within this slang?
You know you have access to the slang guide, right?
Yeah, I can see it, but I'm not. I prefer you explain it.
It's a character expressing with their hand while talking.
Oh, like a Family Guy type deal.
I don't think they really do that on Family Guy. They usually just stand motionless.
No, but the hands are always positioned like that when they're talking.
I don't think they do. Are
No,
there
no,
Family
no.
Guy comic books?
I cannot believe that.
There. Oh, there's like you know how they like make like comic books sometimes of shows and movies by just like taking screenshots and then adding like speech bubbles.
Yeah,
I think that's what they have for Family Guy, for like early Family Guy.
that's crazy.
I'm actually kind of surprised there's not Family Guy comic books. I mean, oh wait. I don't know. I am seeing some like Family Guy comic pages. I don't know what they're. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot. There's like there's a few. I don't know. Because Simpsons comics are huge.
I think I think they got cancelled recently. Not as in cancel culture-fied, like as in.
No, a
Bongo
few
Comics
years ago, I
shut
think
down.
Bongo Comics shut down.
Yeah,
So
sad.
there goes Simpsons comics, Futurama comics, SpongeBob comics.
I think that he has a new publishing company now, Matt Groening. But the only thing they published so far is the 2020 Disenchantment calendar.
I was gonna say they shut down before they could start doing Disenchantment comics.
Yeah,
If Netflix would even allow that.
they probably would.
Simpsons comics are interesting because I don't feel like they ever really got bad, even though the show did.
Yeah, they always remained consistent. I like them.
I remember, like, I didn't really watch much Simpsons from around this time. From like, there was the whole thing with Ned Flanders and Mrs. Krabappel getting together. That's a weird. That's a weird arc.
Less than 5 years ago. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, but I remember seeing a comic. I don't think I bought it, but I saw it in the store. I looked in it, and it was like a story about Ned Flanders' parents coming back and coming to visit him.
The Beatniks.
Yeah, which is interesting to use those characters. I don't think they ever used the characters like that in the
Yeah.
show.
The thing about
and they're
I
like
love
interacting with him and Mrs. Krabappel, and it's like it's an interesting story to tell that they did that for the comics. I don't know.
that's what I like about the comics is that they seem to have this real respect and love for all the characters, and so like they like bring back people who you wouldn't even think are relevant, and they do an issue around them.
Yeah. Whereas
also like-
whereas with the show, if they do that, it's like, you know what? It's been a long time. Let's do a Gil episode. It's like
See,
that's
let's
not. It's
see
not
how-
really bringing back an obscure character. It's just like let's find. We're out of ideas. Let's give Gil an episode.
Let's say
Let's give this
yeah.
background joke character an episode. They're gonna
You know what, though?
if they go to season 50, they're gonna do an episode on the hey Pelly, like that guy. They're gonna do an episode on that guy.
Yeah, the fucking smug
the
guy.
sarcastic guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if they go to season 100, they're gonna do an episode on the one background character. He doesn't even have like a nickname. It's just he punches people in the face.
Yeah. The you sicken me guy. The
Yeah.
ticket man, just stamp the ticket man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's what he's
a
called on the
deep
script.
cut.
Yeah. But no, those comics are really great. There were some ones that really fucked me up as a kid, like especially the Halloween ones. I'm pretty sure. That was a Death Note
The
parody.
Halloween ones are so creative.
There was one that I have like right next to me right now, where Homer finds himself woken up. Well, no, Victorian era, realistic human-looking, fucking explorers discover Homer Simpson in ice, and it's like Victorian era,
Huh.
and they unfreeze him, and it's about him just like in this realistic Victorian era setting.
They only do
like,
one of those a year.
just
What
so fun.
year was that from?
I don't know. I have it in a graphic novel.
Oh, wait. Oh, interesting. I had like 2 big collections of the Treehouse of Horror comics.
Mm,
And I think they only did like the 2 big collections. They had like smaller collections, but they had the 2 really big ones.
I don't know where I put this. Give me a second.
They might have done more than that.
Maybe because this one is a collection as well. This graphic.
They had the 2, yeah. They had like smaller collections, but then they had the 2 big anthologies: Bart Simpson's Keebie Hullabaloo and Bart Simpson's Spine Tingling Spooktacular, with like the big illustrated covers and stuff. They did
There was
have
also
they
one
did have
that
smaller
I haven't been
collections.
There was one I haven't been able to find, but it completely fascinated me, and probably like is responsible for my love of like weird storytelling. In that it was a like murder mystery, but it was all told backwards. Like every panel was the one beforehand.
I don't know if I've said this week yet, but Lisa's on her phone again. Lisa's recording through her phone again this week.
But every panel was like 5 minutes earlier, and then the next one would also be like 5 minutes earlier again, and the whole story was just told backwards. And I was like, "That's crazy."
Interesting.
Really,
like Memento.
Like Memento.
Uno momento.
I think I tried reading it the other way around once.
Did it work?
Which is, yeah, it worked in the story, but it was less interesting.
Right.
Part of it is just the fact that
it's
told
crazy
backwards.
how creative the Treehouse of Horror comics remained, and then you look at the show and it's like they did Twilight parody. Twilight
Those fellas
parody episode.
Manga comics really fucking were great. I want to give a shout out to Space Coyote on Twitter, who drew a lot of those, who's the only artist on those I know the name of.
Oh.
She's been on a few episodes of Talking Simpsons, the podcast I like. So I know about her. And she does lots of great art. Like, she works for that fucking... What's it called? They do reissues of really obscure video games. You know who that is? Classic obscure video games.
Fangamer?
Do physical re-release. What?
Fangamer?
It might be that. I think she works for like the merchandising side of them.
Fangamer mostly is just merchandise. They don't really do.
Well, she does stuff like that. Probably. Let me.
I remember let's just start like listing old Simpsons comics. There was the one where they did the Death Note parody.
Yeah, he drew that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Space Coyote.
There was I'm trying to think of the weirder ones in like the Treehouse of Horror. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. There's an old like Simpsons Treehouse of Horror comic going for $210 and I have this issue.
My god. That's crazy.
It says near mint, but I wish I kept my comics in better shape. I don't really. I mean, outside Treehouse of Horror, I remember one where everybody in Springfield thought they were Sideshow Bob, and there was like a mob of Sideshow Bobs going after Bart. And there was another issue around that time where Lisa thought she was not she was like adopted or something because she was doing a DNA test for school, and she took a hair from Marge's head, and it was like no wait I don't remember how it worked, but she ended up thinking that her real mother was from like Denmark or something. Or was Dutch. Spoilers for that issue. It turned out that Marge just wears a wig. She doesn't do her hair all the time like that because it would take forever. And she wears a wig that is from Denmark. And so the hair that Lisa took off her head was like from Denmark.
What's that on your head? A wig. What's that? That's B-52s.
Yeah, the B-52s famously said wig.
What's that on your head? A wig. What's that on your head?
No, they said wig.
Wig.
This is devolved.
Amen.
think
As all things will. As all
yeah,
things will.
Simpsons comics are good. I wonder if there's archives online.
Almost certainly.
I would hope so.
Read comics. Read Comic Online has pretty much everything. But they have a lot of
even
ads,
like
so grab it.
Marvel
grab it.
issue 1 with the Flaming Torch.
Sure. Why not?
Even
It's had everything I've looked for. but
oh,
didn't
here's a
come out
list: 10 scariest Treehouse of Horror comics.
yet.
Let me see what I remember. I don't remember that one. Oh, ad blocker. Here, you can stop listening. We're not talking about Mr. Boo anymore. So you can
We're
stop
done.
listening.
Sorry,
No, we're
guys.
not done. We're not done. But we're you know
Oh.
you don't need to listen anymore if you're just here for Mr. Boo.
Oh my god.
But there was the Carrie parody, Dark Lisa. I remember that. The
I
episode
remember
where
they did an episode set entirely like in manga.
yeah,
like,
with
done in
with
manga
like
format.
baseball. It's funny because the Death Note one was also from around that time.
It was starring Mr. Sparkle. That's all I remember about it.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different one. There's one where they're like in manga and doing like baseball. I don't think that was that wasn't a Treehouse of Horror one, but the Death Note one was. There's the Metamorphosis parody. They did a parody of the Metamorphosis and 30 Days of Night. That one was really creepy. There's like the Simpsons comics get so like bloody and dark. Like the 30 Days of Night parody is like the characters getting like torn apart gruesomely, from what I can remember.
I highly recommend reading that one where he's stuck in Victorian.
That does sound
Victorian
really interesting. I wanna read that. All right. Well,
we're done. Goodbye, everyone.
this is a funny strip.
Yeah.
This is a funny strip. Because he breaks the fourth wall.
Which is the key to comedy.
Yeah, just ask Ryan Reynolds. He thinks that's the only joke. And actually, no, he barely uses that joke in Deadpool. Underutilization of the fourth wall in Deadpool, probably. I don't know. They don't do it as much as they don't really. Deadpool has all these like different types of fourth wall personalities, I think, from what I hear.
Oh yeah, I miss.
And then in the movie, it's just like sometimes he turns to the audience and he's like, "Wow, this is Josh Brolin, huh? He plays Thanos also. That's crazy. Wow."
Yeah. I like that in the comics he has those two voices in his head, but they're just not there in the.
I was excited. I think that's something I was excited about when the Deadpool movie was being developed because he had that movie The Voices where he would hear voices in his head, like his dog would talk to him, his cat would talk to him, and Ryan Reynolds did all those voices and it doesn't even really sound like him. So I was like, oh, he would be great for this actually. He can do like all the different, but he doesn't do it at all.
Yeah,
it's a waste.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see in the MCU's Deadpool.
Yeah, I think they should just like. Keep Ryan Reynolds in the way he portrays the costume and everything, but like revamp it. Like do a different Deadpool. They've done it before.
Closer to X-Men Origins Deadpool, please.
No. All right, you're hosting, you know.
Yeah, well, I thought we'd already faded out.
We haven't. What do you mean you didn't do the outro at all?
Yeah, I was waiting for. I thought when you said stop listening, I thought we were fading out.
No, I literally said we're not done, but we're done talking about Mr. Boop, so you can stop listening.
You've been listening to Being Mr. Boop, or have you? You can visit the website of Being Mr. Boop. You can visit us. You can visit me. I can visit you.
What's your address, Lisa?
A skibidi bop 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 bop.
This podcast was brought to you by the Pitch Drop Podcast Network. Like what you just heard? Support the show by going to patreon.com/pitchdrop. And while you're at it, check out pitchdrop.net for more of this and other shows.